Welcome everyone to the Raw Rewind right here on the Get Slammed YouTube page. My name is Crawdaddy, giving you the highlights of yesterday's Raw, January 8th. 2018. Roman Reigns opens the show and Jason Jordan of course interrupts him. He's basically saying that they're as good as the Shield were, and Seth Rollins comes out and Jason Jordan says that they are the most dominant three-man team in WWE today. Out comes Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Finn says that he sees the architect in the ring. He sees the big dog in the ring. But when it comes to Jordan, he only sees a nerd. Kurt Angle makes a six-man tag team match for tonight's main event. Balor Club versus Jason Jordan, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Our first match tonight was Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. This was a pretty quick match. Mandy Rose tapped out to the Banks statement to end it. Cedric Alexander had a backstage segment with Goldust. Goldust motivates Cedric like Rocky in this Rocky movie spoof. Then we had our second match, Woken Matt Hardy versus Kurt Hawkins. By the way, I'm really digging Matt Hardy's new theme song. It's not the Moonlight Sonata. It's something a little bit different. It sounds like something that CFO probably constructed, but it's really good. I like it. Only criticism there is they still have like the Hardy Boys graphics. Matt Hardy needs to get his own graphics for like the stage thing because it just doesn't fit in my opinion. But anyway, so Hardy wins with a twist of fate. Pretty easy. It's Kurt Hawkins. Obviously, he's on a losing streak. That's not going to end for a while. Then Bray Wyatt comes out and appears and has a stare down with Matt Hardy, and then they both start laughing maniacally at each other. I gotta tell you, this is still one of the best things that I've seen. I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about this, especially the ones who haven't seen the broken Matt Hardy from TNA, but I'm assuring you, this is actually going somewhere, and this is actually gold in my opinion. So Elias comes out, of course, he's singing another song, trashing Memphis, but then he introduces The Miz. After Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel fight over who got the better gifts for The Miz's return, because they were giving him, like, watches and a portrait of himself and the sport jacket, Miz says that he didn't forget about what the Shield did to him when they put him through the announce table 2 months ago, and the Miz is going to regain his Intercontinental Championship from Roman Reigns. Next up, it was Enzo Amore versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, this one actually pulled me in really well because near the end there, Cedric Alexander hit Enzo with a kick to the face that busted his eye wide open. It was actually a lot of blood for most I've ever seen for a Cruiserweight match anyway. Anyway, Enzo got knocked outside of the ring, and he decided to hang out there and get counted out, so that way it gave Cedric the win, but Enzo retained the Cruiserweight Championship. Next up, we had The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. I sound like an idiot when I say that. Anyway, Sheamus went for a bro kick on Apollo Crews right while he was hanging on the ropes, but Crews dodged it and actually flipped on Cesaro outside the ring. Titus O'Neil used that distraction to roll up Sheamus to pick up the upset for Titus Worldwide. God, I sound like an idiot. Next up, we had Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Of course, another one of Heyman's famous promos. I don't have to go into detail about it. If you guys want to see Paul Heyman's promo, you guys can go watch that. After they went backstage, Kane started a brawl with Lesnar. Then Braun Strowman runs in and throws both Kane and Lesnar around. He actually threw Lesnar into a table, and some stage equipment actually fell right on the back of Brock Lesnar. That looked brutal. Then Braun Strowman pulls a giant metal piece. You know those things that they use to climb? I forget what they call them, but he pulls them down on both Kane and Brock Lesnar. Kane actually walks away just barely, but Lesnar is carted out on a stretcher, and he kept telling Heyman that he didn't want to go to the local medical facility, but, you know, he couldn't move that much. So, I guess it really wasn't his choice. Anyway, next match was Samoa Joe versus Rhino. Joe won with Coquina Clutch. Not much to say about this match. After the match, Joe says that he would go back after Roman Reigns, but in the meantime, he's entering in the Royal Rumble, and he says his first elimination, his very first elimination in this match, is going to be John Cena. Next, we were going to have a match with Asuka, but Nia Jax actually sneaked up on her and actually dropped Asuka from her shoulders after Asuka got on the top rope, to do her entrance, and did another slam on her, sending a really powerful message to the Empress of Tomorrow. Lastly, we had our main event, Balor Club versus Reigns, Rollins, and Jordan. This match was a pretty good back-and-forth match, but the turning point was when the ref got distracted by Jason Jordan as Rollins made a tag to Reigns, but the referee didn't see it, so Rollins was still the legal man in the referee's eyes, which Balor Club, of course, took advantage. Later, Jordan picked up Rollins as he was down on the ground, just as Balor went for a corner drop kick. Jordan completely dodged it, but it connected with Rollins. Balor went for the coup de grace for the win. And there's definitely some tension, even more tension now between Rollins, Reigns, and Jason Jordan. After the match, The Miz attacked Roman Reigns to send a message to him at the end of the show, letting him know that, hey, I'm getting his Intercontinental Championship back at the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw, which, by the way, that match was scheduled earlier in the night by Kurt Angle. So that was this week's Raw Rewind. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at SeanAndrew94. Follow us on Twitter, Get Slammed Pod. Facebook, Get Slam Pod. And I will see you tomorrow for the SmackDown Rewind.